Hello and welcome to the week ahead. I got to do a quick and dirty one this weekend because I am away traveling and I have limited time. So, looking at ES here, if you look at it on the daily chart down below here, I find this chart a little bit confusing. We did get a touch of the weekly EMA 12 and then a bounce. What do we do from here? Don't know. On the 12 hour, it seems a lot clearer to me what's happening. So high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. But the size of this retracement is such that we now have space for a higher low. And you could even say that this was the higher low here on this exact pivot. So maybe that's going to end up being the case. And like if we just keep rallying from here, people will say, look at the little higher low you got. But to me, it's a rinky-dink one, especially because there's just not enough candles. Like I kind of want to see something, some candle come a little bit lower than these ones and then come back up for it to make more sense to me. But that's either way, that's kind of what I see as clarity here. And if you go to the 4 hour time frame, or maybe lower, let's go to the hourly 30. Yeah, I was looking at this, here's your resistance that we drew. So there's your resistance here. And we had this lower from there, that spot, and then I noticed that this kind of looked, I was looking at it on NQ, but it kind of looks like a rising wedge here, which I noticed going into Friday, which would then, you can see that if this sets another low here and then breaks that wedge to the downside, but doesn't completely roll over, then you essentially get your inverse head and shoulders to set this weekly higher low, and away you go from there. I hope that's a lot of lines. I hope that makes sense because it seems pretty clear to me. Let's do the exact same exercise here on NQ, and I have drawings there. I'm going to erase them all, and we'll start fresh. So daily, not totally clear. We're at daily EMA 12 resistance, which we did reject from before, but again, the bounce retracement is such that it kind of looks like if I just draw these retracements, so from here to here, right? So we're like well above the 618. We're into like the 90% territory of a retracement. So definitely enough space for a higher low from here. And, essentially you're looking at this being the left shoulder head, and you're kind of expecting the right shoulder to form somewhere in here, and then you can get back up. And we touch the weekly EMA 12 here as well. And again, on the 30-minute chart, I'll just clear this out a little bit, get rid of my drawings. This looked very clear to me. I don't know what just happened. Here it is. This looked really clear to me where, again, here is that high that you're fighting against, the armpit of the left shoulder. And the retracement is really, really close now. Like you're almost 100% retracement on that shoulder. And coming into the day on Friday, I was just looking at this. Here's Friday. And I was looking at this going, oh, look at this. It's like this very rising wedgie, which would then play that pattern out pretty clearly to me, right? And so even on Friday, I was not surprised at all to be chopping tight in here, generally holding up within the wedge, because there's quite a lot of wedge left, and even the apex is above that other shoulder, and NQ seems to be a little stronger than ES, so makes sense. But still, I kind of want, even if it pushes up, I kind of want it to come do a bigger retracement, give me something along the lines of that, right? And so find support somewhere under this stuff here, above this balance here. And that's kind of what I'm thinking for both ES and NQ. Now, I've also been looking at trying to trade Google. I've been trying to catch this weekly higher low in Google for quite a while, and it's really annoying me. So we're at the weekly EMA 12, but we've kind of been choppy. And and we just held on to this lower end of balance that I kind of expected it to hold. But I kind of liked it because prior support being there, it just sort of tested this prior resistance becoming support now. Like this would just be a beauty place for it to go from. But on the daily time frame, you can see like I tried it here, wasn't able to get in. It got too choppy. I was kind of hoping it was going to hold this. It went lower, stopped me out of a trade. Then it rallied again. Then it was weak on Friday again, and like it's basically a daily EMA 12 rider down now. This blue line here, so not looking great for holding that weekly higher low. But if what I just described to you on ES and NQ happens this coming week, then this is actually kind of a beauty setup here where you could get that daily higher low. So this is the new daily low. If you lose the low of Friday on Monday or Tuesday, come in for another higher low from this daily higher low, and then that is your go signal for the weekly higher low to be set. That's a really good trade in my opinion. So I'm kind of hoping that we get this coming week, if the market does what I think it's going to do. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. I'll stop there. I'm not going to do anything more today. There's plenty of things I could talk about. I've been finding all kinds of killer trades over on EMA Riders using the live view. I'll run through one more thing, which was a really good trade. So I was watching the stocks view, which shows me the biggest moves in stocks on the day. And this, happens in real time. And one of the things that rose to the top early in the day was TMC, which should not be near the top anymore. Is it even on this page? Yeah. TMC is only up 5% on the day. But I was looking at TMC, and at the time that it was rallying really hard, I looked at the group and I was like, the group isn't doing that great. Like, there's a lot of stuff not performing well. And one of the things I do when I see that a stock is rallying really well on here is I'll jump over to TradingView. I'll open up my theme list that I got from EMA Riders, and this is basically all the stocks in the EMA Riders universe of stocks organized by theme. And I just type in TMC, and now you can see here I'm now in rare earth metals, and so then I just sort by change percent. And at the time, TMC was at the top of the list and the others were not. And so I just quickly cycle through. I go down to the smaller time frame. Let's say I was on 5 minute. I can't remember what it was. 5 minute, 2 minute. So at the time that it was rallying, I was over here. And it hadn't even done this yet. I was even earlier. Let's say I was over here. So it's rallying super strong. It's not even a 2 minute EMA rider, which is a very, very strong move. This can't be sustained for too long. And the one thing I know about rare earth metals is that anytime they've had these really big moves, they tend to give a lot of it back really quickly. And so I'm just looking at the group. I'm like, what are the others doing? So let's look at ALB. ALB, not looking too bad. TMC looking really strong. REMX, generally an uptrend, upslope, but not super strong on the day, kind of choppy. CRML, at the time, look at all this weakness here, then rallying out of that, but kind of in balance, maybe hitting a top. MP, rolling like balance. At the time that I was looking at it, it had been weak, rallied, rolling over again. USAR, weak right off the open, setting a lower high. UAMY, same thing. So I'm looking at the group thinking, well, the group's not very strong, but TMC is super strong. And so the thought I had was I should look for a short on this thing, but I didn't do it because I was focused on other things. So this is not a trade I took, but it was just an example of how I can use this system, EMA Riders, to identify stocks that are running and then come up with a trade idea based on what's going on with the theme. If all of these stocks in the rare earth metals group had been super strong, I would have been like, oh my God, these things are running today. I got to search for a higher low to get involved to join the trend. Instead, I look at this and I'm like, oh, a bunch of them are weak. I bet this is a very strong move that really can't be sustained. I think it's probably a 1 minute EMA 12 rider. Let's see. Yes, it was. So let's step through what happened. Okay, so we broke the 1 minute EMA 12. went higher from there, came down, got a higher low. I'm going to jump to the 2 minute because basically 1 minute EMA 12 as a rider has been invalidated, but we did go higher from there. So now I'm going to look at 2 minute. So we held the 2 minute push up. Now we had a close below the 2 minute. And that's a signal that this thing might be over. Tried to get back to high. Boom, there's your short right there. So this would have been the trade. And again, the reason I would have been looking short is because the group is not doing well today. I'm looking for this thing to start joining the group instead of the group to join this one. And this one was a really great pullback, which again, I didn't take this trade. It's just an example of the kind of trade you could get using a system like this. So this was a risk reward ratio was 6.43. Really, you can crush on these kind of trades. And so, yeah, that's the only thing I want to talk about is I'm just loving using this live view of the stocks that are running right now in real time across all the themes, and then looking at the theme and seeing how the theme is performing and deciding whether to get involved with the trade or not based on what's happening. Earlier in the week, I had a really good trade on CRWD because it was running and the other stocks in the same group were also running. So I joined that trend and had a killer trade. So, but it can work either way. So anyway, I'll stop there. I got to run. I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead and happy trading.